how Al Haymon can snatch Canelo Alvarez from Golden Boy Promotions and DAZN and turn him into a PBC superstar easily. Knuckleheads, welcome to the Fighters Rep, where we give you free fights, interviews in the fight game, and fight commentary from the mind of a promoter. You know, I had to make this video because I'm so sick and tired of the Al Haymon naysayers and the people minimizing this man's abilities, talents, and opportunities. I know something that you guys don't know, and you're only going to get this information on this channel. Now, I want to preface this all by saying that everything in this video is my opinion. It's my personal opinion that I'm deriving almost entirely from the complaint that Canelo Alvarez filed and from the surrounding circumstances, along with my own knowledge of contracts. So I wanted to preface this entire video by saying that don't hang your hat on everything I'm saying. I have been wrong a couple times in my life. So not only do I believe Al Haymon can pull this off, I believe Al Haymon can pull this off easily. Easily. And a lot of you may be looking at me and saying, this guy's crazy. Canelo Alvarez is contractually obligated to DAZN and Golden Boy. And there's no way that Al Haymon, who's going to be involved on the September 21st purse bid for Avni Yildirim versus Canelo Alvarez, there's no way the great Al Haymon, as great as he is, can pull this off. And again, I tell you, you don't know shit about the fight game, and you especially don't know anything about the law. So I'm going to ask that you guys focus with me real quick. We're going to go through the complaint again, but for different reasons than we did in the other video. If you want to understand the lawsuit that Canelo filed, go to the other video. I'll put it in the link below. But for this particular topic, to explain to you how easily Al Haymon can pull this off, I'm going to need you guys to follow me and understand different aspects of this contract. So the first, or rather, of the complaint, since we don't have the contract. So first and foremost, if you guys have a copy of the complaint, go ahead and pull it up. If you don't, it's the 10th cause of action. And in the 10th cause of action, Canelo Alvarez is requesting declaratory relief. He's seeking judicial determination as to the legal rights and duties of the parties, including but not limited to that, due to the defendant's breaches, he is eligible to participate in bouts arranged and promoted by entities other than Golden Boy Promotions and broadcasted by entities other than DAZN. So what he's asking the court to do here is, don't allow me to languish in the prime of my life. Make a determination that will allow me to fight under other promotional banners besides Golden Boy and to be broadcasted by other companies besides DAZN. Don't allow me to waste away the prime of my life where I could be making the most money and building my legacy. But that is not the end-all, be-all reason, although it's extremely important. That is not the end-all, be-all reason why I believe that Al Haymon can easily pull this off, right? Because even in this situation, we would still need the court to make that determination. Again, Canelo's merely placing in the complaint a request to the court to make that determination. This purse bid is happening in 10 days. I don't know what the chances are of the court coming through with an answer between now and 10 days. The other fantastic aspect of this complaint that I believe is going to greatly facilitate Canelo's exit and the potential that Al Haymon poach him is the fact that if you look on page number 12 of the complaint, specifically paragraph 53, Canelo indicates that this is an anticipatory breach of contract. Now, there's a difference between an actual breach and an anticipatory breach. An actual breach is, for example, let's say tomorrow I signed you up to fight. Tomorrow comes and goes, you didn't show up, so I sue you. That was an actual breach. You didn't show up. An anticipatory breach is what we're seeing in this case, where Canelo is saying, you're supposed to pay me this much money in the future. Your words and your actions are showing me that you're not going to do so. And so I'm anticipating the breach. So the breach hasn't occurred yet. He's anticipating it, and he's basing that anticipation, according to his complaint, on what DAZN told him. Basically telling them, well, we're not going to pay, the required license fee for whatever reasons they gave him. Fine. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what does that matter, George? Well, that is the most important thing here, because in an anticipatory breach of contract, the non-breaching party, which in this case would be Canelo Alvarez, has the duty to mitigate damages. Oh, fuck, man. This is beautiful. I love knowing shit that other people don't know. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, man. The bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. An anticipatory breach places the duty of mitigating damages on the non-breaching party, which would be Canelo. Now, what does that mean, mitigating damages? Mitigating damages means minimizing the damage. So Canelo, especially here in California where the lawsuit was filed, now has a duty to mitigate the damages, to make sure that the damages that are going to be suffered and paid are minimal, right? So he can't just sit back and sit on his ass and twiddle his thumbs and say, okay, well, you guys didn't pay me, and I'm going to wait on, collecting that 40 million you owe me or 35 million you owe me. He has to take reasonable steps in order to mitigate the damages. And how is he to do that? Well, you look at count number 10, where he's asking for permission to be able to fight with other promotions and to be broadcasted by other broadcasting companies. You look at the fact that there's a purse bid coming up where other promoters are going to be involved. You look at the fact that he's got a duty to mitigate the damages. And the way he mitigates the damages is by fighting for somebody else. That is definitely, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, that is definitely a way to mitigate the damages. And then the other crazy aspect of this whole thing is, let's say Al Haymon bids on the fight and wins the purse bid, and Canelo hypothetically gets 15 million for that fight. Well, that doesn't mean that he's no longer eligible to collect the 35 million or 40 million that he says was owed to him by DAZN or Golden Boy. What it means now is you subtract that 15 million from the amount that he was owed, and they are still on the hook for that difference. So even if he goes, now this is assuming he wins the lawsuit. If he wins the lawsuit and he goes and fights for Al Haymon and gets paid $15 million, and the court determines that he's owed $35 million for that next fight, they're still on the hook to pay him $20 million. So this is like the universe talking, right? I mean, it's not like Al Haymon, somehow had an effect at least I don't think he did, on this being an anticipatory breach of contract. And, you know, it's not like Al Haymon manifested Canelo to have the duty to mitigate. This is just the way the law is, but it's the universe sort of talking and potentially siding with Al Haymon, right? And you can easily see how if he goes and decides to fight for someone else, you know, you can easily see a court potentially saying, well, that was the best way for him to mitigate the damages. How else is he going to make money? The only way he knows how to make money is to fight. And so, knuckleheads, I hope that makes sense. But it's because of that, what I just explained there, that I believe Al Haymon can easily poach Canelo Alvarez from DAZN and Golden Boy. So, tell me what you think. Do you think Al Haymon can do it? Do you think Al Haymon will do it? Or do you think my opinion is bullshit and I'm a maniac? Knuckleheads, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation, the best fight channel on YouTube. We give you free fights. We give you this crazy commentary. We give you everything. And also, click the link below. Get your Fighters Rep gear. If you don't have a shirt, hoodie, mask, tank, whatever it is, then you don't know shit about the fight game. Knuckleheads, I'm out.